This right here is the Carpuride 702 Pro. This comes with tire pressure monitoring as well as a whole load of other things. But before we can talk about the unit itself, we need to go back to about 2 weeks ago when I received this unit and fitted it to the bike. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I've been having a bit of a nightmare trying to get this thing actually mounted up. I first of all tried the little ball mount that it came with this thing, but it just looked ridiculous on the bike. So I'm going to try and use my quad lock vibration dampener and this little bar mount thing here and see if that, with one screw, is gonna be enough to hold this unit on. I mean, that's a good sign, isn't it? It's working. It's on. This unit is packed full of features, and if we just start off in the setting page, you'll see that you can choose from some different wallpapers. You can go back to set SOS and all that kind of different stuff in here. It's also got Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. But the main reason that most people want a unit like this is for Apple CarPlay. As you can see here, it's pretty responsive when you're wearing gloves, which is good for while you're riding on the bike. If we just bump out of Apple CarPlay, you also see that Android Auto is available for use. Going into the audio output, you'll see that there's slots for 2 different audio outputs. So you can have your number 1 slot set to the rider of the bike and number 2 slot set to the pillion. So if you are traveling with somebody, you can have music playing for the whole ride, and they can have the music that you're listening to too. Moving on, we've got the mountings option, and this kind of gives you the lean angle of the bike, the compass, some of the basic stuff, and tire pressure monitoring as well. You got phone, which doesn't work while you're in either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. You got a card if you want to put a memory card in, and it also gives you a handy voltmeter as well. So now that we've had a basic look at the device, I guess we should head out on the bike and have a little look and see how we like it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why buy another thing for the bike? And, well, what's the advantage of having this on the bike over just having your phone on the bars? Now, out here, well, it's hard to justify when you look at what's around you. There's no real threat of having your phone nicked off of the bars when you're out in the countryside. But if you're riding in a city, and unfortunately I hate to say it, if you're riding in London, then phone theft is becoming more and more prevalent. And personally, I'd rather they got this off my bars when I was sat at a traffic light than my £1,000 phone. This is a lot cheaper, and it gives you a whole host of extras as well as just being able to be your man. Now, so what are the good sides to it? This acts as a massive screen. It's really easy to see, and well, it doesn't drain your battery, quite like when you've got your phone on the bars using it with a quad lock, for example. It keeps your phone relatively well charged while it's in your pocket and you're using this device instead. And as you can see, it's got a 7-inch touchscreen display, and it's quite wide as well and tall. Personally, I think this would be perfect on like the rally tower of a adventure bike, but it doesn't necessarily fit the street scramblers kind of what's the right word for it? Minimalist dashboard, and it gives you access to those maps that you might need while out on the trail. For example, if I just stick it up and I just go on to normal maps, you'll see that now I have a view of where I'm going. And if I really wanted to, I could get a bit fancy with it and I could go across and open up Gaia Maps, which gives you trail information as well as other stuff. So that's another plus, is the fact that I can easily switch between different types of maps, whether I want to use Waze, Google Maps, Apple Maps, Gaia Maps for trails. I have it all here and I haven't got to get my phone out to use it. You'll also notice this little device here on my handlebars. This is for controlling the unit. I can use it to go backwards and forwards and into maps and out of maps, and it is really good for that. The sound quality that comes out of this unit and how it kind of uses the Bluetooth to send the audio to your headsets or your Senna or your Cardo is actually really decent, to be fair. I haven't tested it with two people, but I can imagine that the Pillion is going to get the same great audio quality through their device as you are sat closer to the unit. And while it does kind of take up a lot of room on my dash, it is very useful. Now, moving on to some of the bad things or some of the work-on points. This is actually the second time that I've gone to film this video, and the first one, well, let me just show you how it ended quickly. So I'm at the side of the road right now because the Carpuride unit that I have attached onto this mount here decided to leap off and end up in the middle of the road. So yeah, you can see there that the unit came off my bike while I was on my way to do my moto camping, and that was when I was going to film the video. I was going to have more than one video out in the past few months, because I thought, why not kill two birds with one stone and get two out straight away in the new year for you. And well, obviously that didn't happen. I have been working with Carpuride to get another unit sent out to me, and they were really helpful when it came to that, and they wanted to know everything about where it had failed on the mount so that they can make it better in future versions of the product. The other thing that kind of bugs me about this unit is the fact that, well, the mounting options are kind of limited. Now, I've got this kind of jerry-rigged onto my vibration dampener from my quad lock, and I do like the fact that it's there, it's on the bike, and I can, oh my god, ugh, what happened to the road there? I do like the fact that it's on the center of the bike and it is held in place, but the mount itself, as you can see, very loose. It's it feels a bit sketch, and that's one of the things I don't like. If I've got something mounted to the bike, I want it to feel secure. I could have used the RAM mount, but it just didn't fit my bike, and when I did have the screen on, it was right up in my face. It just, yeah, it didn't look right. And yes, this would be a perfect application for 3D printing. If you have got access to a 3D printer, there are plenty of options to 3D print a mount for this device so that you can use it with a quad lock adapter, or even you can pay to buy one essentially that connects to the back of the device and then quad locks on and off of your quad lock adapter, which I think is really good. The fact that there's a company out there that's making add-ons for stuff like this for the Carpuride. I do like the sunshade. I think it is useful, especially on sunny days like today. However, I'm not a fan of it. I wish it was removable so you could have it on if you wanted and then remove it if you didn't. And that's one of the bits of feedback that I pushed out to Carpuride as well. And if you haven't guessed by now, this video isn't sponsored by Carpuride, but they did send me this unit out for free to review for you guys. So since losing the unit off of my bars, I have been a little bit skeptical about trying again, about putting it onto my quad lock, and I did think maybe I should try and find a way to make that RAM mount work just for the video. But then I thought, well, no, because I would never actually run this device like that, and it would just be one of those products that I used once and then never again. So I've tried it again, and I think that the product I got sent last time must have been faulty, because this one is rock solid compared to that one. It does move about a bit. Obviously it's on the vibration dampener. It's not on the vibration dampener in the best way possible, but it works. One of the things I do like about this Carpuride product is the fact that it comes with a security lock, so you can keep it locked to the bars and nobody's going to be able to get it off without the key. And if you have got that key, you can just remove it, pull it away, and all that's left is a sleek little mounting thing that's similar to what you'd get on a BMW GS. And I think that that's really good as well, because it means it gives you options. You don't always have to run it. Sometimes I'm not always going somewhere that I don't know where I'm going. For example, now I've not got the maps on because I know where I'm heading. I'm heading around the top of these woods and out towards Aston Clinton. But if I didn't know where I was going, if I was unsure, I could throw the map on just quite easily. And if I did need to take this, say I was going on a long trip, I can just throw it on and off the bike when I get to my hotels or my campsite, and I haven't got to worry about the fact that I've got close to 300 pounds just chilling on my bars when I don't really need it to be. As you can see, there's absolutely no dramas with how bright this actual unit is. I can see it perfectly well while I am out riding, and that's one of the main benefits to having something like this, is the fact that there is so little glare off of the screen, except from when the sun is literally right behind you, that you can just see that device nice and easily, as opposed to your phone, where I'll be honest, I've struggled to see my phone on certain occasions when I've been out riding, especially like on the trip to Wales. I really struggled to see my phone when I was on the motorway there. So now that we've gone through the good points and the bad points, and well, just some of my general thoughts while I'm rambling along to you, I guess we should go through my final thought. And well, my final thoughts is this product is really good, and the value for money is incredible with something like this. The fact that I can get tire pressure monitoring on a bike that doesn't come standard with it is amazing. However, I personally think that this unit is a little bit big for my bike, and that's on me. I asked them to send me a unit that was 7 inches, and I kind of messed up with my measurements. I should have gone for one of their smaller options for this particular bike, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. I've done it now. It is what it is. I've gone with a 7-inch one. So is this something that I would keep on my bike? Is it something that I would use my own money to buy? And well, the answer is yes. I would use my own money to buy another one of these units, albeit a smaller unit. Like I said, this one just looks a bit too big on the handlebars, and I'd even go as far to throwing one of those quad lock adapters on it so that I can use it off of my quad lock. Sometimes I like the idea of having a big dedicated sat nav, and well, others, I just want my phone on the bars because I might have only been popping out somewhere, road got closed, needed to follow a diversion. The easiest way to do that is just to bang the map on, isn't it? So having both options and not having to switch between the two different mounts would be a massive win in my eye. Would I keep this particular unit on my bike? Probably not. Look at the size of it. It takes up the entire middle part of my bars, and I don't really have a good place to mount it. And if I did get one of those crossbar adapters, again, I lose access to the quad lock, and I'm not taking on the Dakar Rally. I don't need both of those units running simultaneously. I could get away with just having one or the other while I'm out on the bike. Yeah, I think that this unit does suit certain types of bikes a bit more. For example, your BMWs, your GSs, obviously, your sports tourers, that would definitely be a good look underneath the little windscreen part. And even I'd go as far and say other retro bikes, but just not the Triumph Street Scrambler. It doesn't really fit. So am I going to keep this device on my bike? And if not, well, what am I going to do with it? Well, this product is not going to be staying on my bike. How? Because I personally don't think that I'm going to get the use out of this particular device. Doesn't mean that I'm not looking into options to change it for something a little bit better that's going to suit my needs in the future. So what am I going to do with this particular unit? Well, the answer is simple. I'm going to give it away to one of my mates. I'm going to give it away because they're going to get more use out of it. They're doing multi-day trips in Europe and stuff, and I just don't. I don't think that by me owning a device like this, I am going to get the full benefit out on this particular bike. If I had a T7 or something similar, I definitely think that I would get the benefit out of owning a device like this. But right now, having this sat around on my shelf because a company sent it to me, it's not ideal for me. Does that take away from the fact that it is an incredibly good device? Absolutely not. This thing has performed perfectly every single time I've used it, bar one, but like I said, we think that's down to a faulty mounting system which got missed during quality control. And like I said, luckily for me, Carpuride were absolutely incredible, and well, they helped me out every single step of the way. So if you've got any questions about the Carpuride 702 Pro, pop them down in the comment section below and I will get back to you with an answer. Like the video if you do, subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Time for some beauty shot.